If you thought Microsoft Windows was already on life support after Apple dropped the $600 MacBook Neo and completely disrupted the entire laptop industry, well, grab a cup of dark roast and have a seat. We need to talk. Even die-hard Windows loyalists, guys like Linus Tech Tips, who have built entire empires tweaking PC hardware, have had nothing but overwhelmingly good things to say about the new Neo. But if you thought that was bad news for the executives in Redmond, wait until you hear what is coming down the pipeline next. The supply chain leaks we are looking at today suggest the upcoming MacBook Neo 2 is essentially going to be a death sentence for Windows laptops as we know them. And in a twist straight out of a 90s cyber thriller, Linux is actually the one holding the shovel. Welcome back, everyone. For those of us who have been around the tech block a few times, we've seen these massive tectonic shifts before. It reminds me of the time we first saw the original iPhone back in 2007, or when broadband finally and mercifully replaced the screaming agony of our dial-up modems. The industry shifts, and when it does, it shifts hard. Right now, Apple's MacBook Neo continues to be sold out almost everywhere you look. They keep restocking and they just cannot keep up with the demand. And it is not just college kids buying them. We are seeing major corporate shifts. There is a prominent business that is currently replacing all of their Windows machines with over 100 MacBook Neos, simply because the value proposition is just too good to ignore. And honestly, there really couldn't be a better time for Apple to release the Neo and its upcoming successor. Have you looked at Windows laptop prices lately? They just keep going up. If you check out that recent tweet from Hardware Canucks, they showed the brutal price difference between the exact same laptop in December of last year compared to right now. The premium you pay just to get decent components is staggering. Sure, some people are showing off Windows laptop deals for $600, but when you look into the spec sheets, it's a horror story. The displays look terrible, the build quality feels like recycled Tupperware, and worst of all, they only have 8 gigs of memory. Let me tell you, 8 gigs on a modern Windows 11 machine is an absolute joke. That thing is going to crap out so fast on you. To get a Windows laptop that doesn't stutter, you really do have to spend serious money, and they just cannot compete with the sheer efficiency of the MacBook Neo. That brings us to the MacBook Neo 2. Let's separate the real leaks from the noise, starting with what we are hearing from very reliable supply chain sources. First up is the physical design. Apple isn't completely reinventing the wheel with the chassis. It is expected to retain that incredibly sleek, lightweight aluminum body. What's interesting here, though, is a rumored reduction in the display bezels, giving it a much more modern, edge-to-edge look. As for the display and build quality, leaks point to the Neo 2 utilizing a slightly updated panel with a higher peak brightness. This could actually matter a lot because, for those of us working outdoors or traveling, that extra screen visibility is the difference between getting actual work done and just staring at a dark reflection of your own frustrated face. But here is where things get serious and where the folks at Microsoft should be terrified. The current Neo has been a fantastic workhorse, but the Neo 2 is strongly rumored to feature a much faster Apple Silicon chip with significantly enhanced thermal management. But more importantly, and this is the big one, leaks suggest the base model will finally ditch the restrictive 8GB baseline and start at 12GB of unified memory. Let that sink in for a second. Coupled with what we expect to be much faster SSD storage drives, the Neo 2 won't just be a basic consumer laptop. It's going to be a legitimate, highly capable workstation for the vast majority of professionals out there. Once Apple addresses those bottlenecks, combined with improved fast charging speeds that are also on the horizon, people are going to flock to the Neo 2 in droves. People are going to ditch their aging Windows laptops without a second thought. But Apple isn't the only threat to Windows right now. Let's shift gears and talk about Linux, which is quietly making a massive, unexpected comeback for people who are entirely sick of Windows and want a reliable, no-nonsense experience. I know what you're thinking, Linux. It usually brings back frustrating memories of typing cryptic lines of code into a terminal just to get your basic inkjet printer to work. But things have dramatically changed in recent years. Framework, the hardware company known for those brilliant, fully modular, highly repairable laptops, has started selling laptops that come pre-installed with Linux right out of the box. I thought this was an absolutely genius move. In fact, I actually ordered 2 of them specifically to compare against each other for the channel, one running Windows and one running Linux. Right now, the beauty of having Linux pre-installed is that it removes the barrier to entry. Regular folks can order one and get a fantastic lightning-fast experience without needing an advanced IT degree to set up their drivers. The system just works. Even Luke from Linus Tech Tips recently went on record saying that now that he's been daily driving Linux, he doesn't think he will ever go back to Windows again because it is finally fast enough and reliable enough. When guys like that are jumping ship, you know the tide has fundamentally turned in the tech world. So what does this all mean for the big picture? Let's look at the smart insights here. What's believable and what might be just marketing fluff? The 12GB RAM upgrade on the upcoming Neo 2 is highly believable. Apple knows that as software gets heavier, 8 gigs just won't cut it anymore. What is truly game-changing is that Windows is now fighting a brutal two-front war. They are getting heavily attacked from the premium consumer side by Apple's Mac OS and they are getting flanked from the open source enthusiast side by Linux. Every single day, more and more people are switching away from the Microsoft ecosystem. And you know what the best part of all this immense pressure is? It is finally forcing Microsoft to wake up and step up to the plate. Complacency breeds terrible products, and Microsoft has been complacent for a very long time. They know the end is near if they don't fix everything and fix it fast. That is exactly why they are suddenly promising all these massive changes to the user experience. For starters, they are finally going to give us back the functional taskbar that we all knew and loved before they decided to fix something that wasn't broken. Furthermore, they are officially removing the mandatory Copilot Plus icon from various apps because, surprise, surprise, people are absolutely sick of it. You can't just shove unwanted AI features down your users' throats, clutter up their workspace, and expect them to smile and thank you. They are even saying they are going to fix the core RAM and memory optimization issues within Windows, which is something they haven't genuinely addressed in what feels like a decade. They are also reportedly working heavily on a completely new K1 version of Windows built from the ground up. They are scrambling to put out fires, and honestly, it's about time they sweat a little. At the end of the day, all of this corporate panic and fierce competition is fantastic news for us. It's the consumer that is ultimately going to win this war. Moving forward, we are going to have the option of incredibly powerful, efficient MacBooks for significantly lower prices. We are going to have perfectly capable, highly repairable Linux laptops that come pre-installed and ready to go right out of the box without the hassle. And fingers crossed, we are going to have much better Windows laptops running a refined version of software that actually respects our system resources instead of hogging them. Competition is a beautiful thing, and the next few years in the laptop space are going to be incredibly exciting to watch. So I want to hear from you guys. Which one of the three ecosystems are you currently leaning towards, and what new hardware are you most excited to try out? Are you making the jump to the Mac side with the Neo 2? Are you giving Linux a serious shot on a framework machine? Or are you sticking it out with Windows and hoping this new K1 version actually fixes the mess? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you appreciated this breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.